Today I want to talk about a topic that speaks to our inner strength, self-respect, and the courage to live authentically. Letting go of those who no longer serve us and choosing to love ourselves first. Prioritizing self-respect is the foundation of living a life that reflects your true value and boundaries. When we respect ourselves, we acknowledge that we deserve relationships and environments that honor who we are and support our growth. Self-respect means not settling for people or situations that diminish our self-worth, make us feel small, or prevent us from reaching our full potential. In practice, prioritizing self-respect may mean letting go of relationships that don't value your opinions, dismiss your feelings, or expect you to be someone you're not. It can also mean recognizing when certain situations or environments drain your energy, belittle your abilities, or expect you to compromise your values. By stepping away from these negative influences, you make room for people and experiences that uplift and affirm you. Self-respect is also about holding yourself to standards of kindness and honesty. It involves listening to your intuition, recognizing when something doesn't feel right, and having the courage to walk away. It's about showing yourself the same kindness you'd extend to a friend, being compassionate when you're struggling, and celebrating yourself when you succeed. When you prioritize self-respect, you set the tone for how others should treat you, because the way you treat yourself is often mirrored in the way others treat you. Importantly, respecting yourself is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It involves continuously checking in with yourself, adjusting your boundaries as needed, and making choices that align with your values. Over time, prioritizing self-respect becomes a habit that leads to healthier relationships, stronger confidence, and a deeper sense of inner peace. In a world that sometimes pressures us to conform or settle, self-respect reminds us that we deserve relationships and experiences that reflect our worth. By letting go of people or situations that don't align with our values, we create a life that genuinely supports and celebrates who we are. Acknowledging negative energy is an essential step in cultivating a life filled with positivity, growth, and well-being. Negative energy can take many forms. It might be an environment that feels draining, a relationship that leaves you feeling unappreciated, or even self-doubt and harmful thought patterns within yourself. By recognizing these sources of negativity, you can make empowered decisions to protect your peace and prioritize a more fulfilling life. One of the challenges in acknowledging negative energy is that we often become accustomed to it, especially if it's been part of our lives for a long time. This is common in relationships where we feel obligated to stay, whether due to family ties, long friendships, or romantic commitments. We might overlook repeated disrespect, criticism, or other behaviors that erode our sense of self-worth, rationalizing them as normal. Acknowledging negative energy means taking a clear, honest look at how these relationships affect our emotional and mental health, and asking ourselves if they support the person we want to become. Negative energy can also come from within, like when we hold on to guilt, shame, or self-criticism. It's easy to underestimate the impact of negative self-talk, but these thoughts create a cycle of discouragement and limit our potential for growth. Acknowledging this internal negativity involves becoming aware of our mental patterns, noticing when we're too hard on ourselves, and working to replace those thoughts with affirmations of self-acceptance and compassion. Once we're aware of the negative energy around us or within us, we can start to take intentional steps to distance ourselves from it. This might mean setting boundaries with people who drain us, creating physical or emotional space, or changing our routines to engage more with supportive, positive influences. Sometimes it might mean letting go entirely, even though it can be difficult or uncomfortable. Letting go of negative energy isn't just about creating a peaceful life, it's about honoring your worth and giving yourself the best chance to thrive. By making the conscious choice to acknowledge and release negative energy, we give ourselves the freedom to pursue joy, clarity, and self-respect. This act of acknowledgement is both an act of courage and self-compassion, setting the stage for growth, healing, and a more positive life. Embracing self-love as the foundation of your life is a transformative and empowering practice that impacts every area of your existence. Self-love is not about vanity, arrogance, or selfishness. It's about recognizing your inherent worth, treating yourself with kindness and compassion, and nurturing your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. When you embrace self-love, you create a strong internal foundation that allows you to navigate life's challenges with resilience, clarity, and confidence. At the core of self-love is self-acceptance. It's the understanding that you are worthy of love and respect, regardless of your flaws, past mistakes, or imperfections. When you embrace self-love, you stop seeking external validation from others to feel complete. Instead, you learn to validate yourself and take ownership of your happiness and sense of self-worth. Self-love means you no longer look to others to fill the gaps in your life or give you permission to be yourself. You recognize that the love you need starts from within. Self-love also involves taking responsibility for your needs and well-being. It's about listening to your body when you're tired, honoring your emotions when they arise, and giving yourself the care and attention you deserve. This means prioritizing your mental health, setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and choosing actions that align with your highest good. Embracing self-love is about being gentle with yourself through struggles, celebrating your achievements, and practicing forgiveness when you slip up. A big part of cultivating self-love is shifting your mindset and breaking free from the harmful habits of self-criticism and perfectionism. It means moving away from negative self-talk and replacing it with words of encouragement and self-compassion. By doing this, you begin to see yourself in a more loving, supportive light, and your inner dialogue reflects the kindness you'd offer to a friend in need. When self-love becomes your foundation, it impacts how you interact with the world. You begin to attract relationships, opportunities, and experiences that honor and reflect your worth. You stop settling for less than you deserve and learn to walk away from situations or people who don't appreciate you. Self-love teaches you to recognize that your needs matter just as much as anyone else's, and that you have the right to live a life that fulfills you and brings you joy. Moreover, embracing self-love means releasing the fear of judgment, rejection, or imperfection. When you love yourself, you are free to express your authentic self without fear of criticism. This creates a deep sense of confidence that empowers you to take risks, try new things, and step into the fullness of who you are. At its core, self-love is the ultimate act of self-care. It allows you to cultivate inner peace, trust your intuition, and build resilience in the face of life's challenges. As you love yourself more, you begin to see that you are capable of achieving your dreams, setting healthy boundaries, and living a life filled with joy and fulfillment. In the words of the great author Louise, you have been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. When you embrace self-love as your foundation, you step into a life of authenticity, happiness, and self-respect, creating a ripple effect that not only elevates your own life but also positively impacts everyone around you. Trusting in your value is the key to living a life filled with confidence, clarity, and purpose. It is the deep-rooted belief that you are worthy of love, respect, and all the good things life has to offer simply because you exist. This trust in your value is not contingent on your achievements, appearance, or how others perceive you. It comes from knowing that your intrinsic worth cannot be diminished by external circumstances. When you trust in your value, you stand firm in the knowledge that you are enough, just as you are. The first step in creating space for growth is recognizing the areas in your life that are stagnant or restrictive. These might be relationships, habits, environments, or thought patterns that no longer serve you or align with your highest potential. When you hold on to people, places, or things that are toxic, draining, or unaligned with your values, you inadvertently limit your ability to grow. Sometimes we hold on to these things out of fear of change, fear of being alone, or fear of the unknown. But real growth happens when we step out of our comfort zones and make room for something better. Physical space, the most immediate and tangible way to create space, is to clear out your physical environment. A cluttered, chaotic environment often reflects a cluttered mind. By simplifying your surroundings, whether it's cleaning up your living space, decluttering your desk, or organizing your home, you create a calm, clear space that invites fresh energy and creativity. This act of physical clearing can also be symbolic of clearing out outdated beliefs or emotional baggage, making it easier to move forward with confidence and a sense of purpose. Emotional space. Another critical aspect of creating space for growth is clearing emotional baggage. Holding on to old grudges, unresolved conflicts, or past pain can anchor you to the past and prevent you from moving forward. Letting go of negative emotions like resentment, guilt, or anger frees up emotional space for healing, peace, and new positive emotions to flourish. This doesn't mean forgetting the past or ignoring the hurt. It means processing and releasing it so it no longer holds power over your future. Forgiveness, both of others and yourself, is an essential part of creating emotional space for growth. Creating mental space involves shifting the way you think and process information. Our minds can become overcrowded with negative self-talk, limiting beliefs and worries about the future. These thought patterns drain our energy and prevent us from thinking clearly and creatively. To make space for growth, it's essential to challenge these limiting beliefs and make a conscious effort to replace them with positive, empowering thoughts. Practicing mindfulness, meditation, or journaling can help clear mental clutter and provide the mental clarity needed to make decisions and take positive actions toward growth. Letting go of the past. Often, we carry the weight of past failures, regrets, and mistakes. These memories can create a mental and emotional barrier that keeps us stuck in place. Letting go of the past is not about forgetting what happened, but rather about recognizing that your past does not define your future. The lessons you've learned from past experiences are valuable, but the pain or regret that you continue to carry with you does not have to follow you into the future. When you release the grip of the past, you free yourself to embrace new opportunities and challenges with a fresh perspective. Setting boundaries. Creating space for growth also involves setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they are about saying yes to yourself. By establishing boundaries, you protect your time, energy, and emotional health, ensuring that you have the space to nurture your own growth. Whether it's saying no to toxic relationships, overcommitting yourself at work, or taking on too much responsibility for others, boundaries allow you to prioritize your own needs and make space for the things that truly matter to you. Fostering new habits. Growth thrives when you actively engage in new practices that support your well-being and development. Whether it's adopting a healthier lifestyle, learning new skills, or cultivating a positive mindset, fostering new habits creates the momentum needed for growth. As you begin to introduce positive changes into your daily life, you'll find that they start to compound over time, leading to personal transformation. Creating space for growth means making room in your routine for these habits, setting aside time for self-care, exercise, reading, reflection, or anything else that helps you grow. Embracing change and uncertainty. Growth requires change, and change often comes with uncertainty. One of the most important aspects of creating space for growth is to embrace the discomfort that comes with stepping into the unknown. Growth doesn't happen in a safe, predictable environment. It happens when you challenge yourself, take risks, and step outside of your comfort zone. When you embrace change and the uncertainty that accompanies it, you open yourself up to new possibilities and experiences that can propel you forward. Nurturing supportive relationships. Surrounding yourself with people who support your growth is vital to creating space for positive transformation. The people you spend time with influence your energy, mindset, and even your behavior. By creating space for relationships that are uplifting, encouraging, and aligned with your values, you allow yourself to flourish. Let go of relationships that drain or discourage you and invest your time and energy in people who inspire you to be your best self. Taking time for reflection. Finally, creating space for growth requires reflection. Taking the time to step back and evaluate where you are in your life, what you've learned, and where you want to go is essential for understanding what changes need to be made. Reflection allows you to recognize areas where you may still be holding on to limiting beliefs or patterns that no longer serve you. It also helps you appreciate how far you've come and where you can continue to improve. When you create space for growth in all these areas, physical, emotional, mental, and relational, you give yourself the best chance to evolve into the person you are meant to be. It is about making conscious choices to clear away what no longer serves you and to prioritize the things that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Creating space for growth is a process, but it is one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. It allows you to break free from limitations and step into a future filled with possibility, purpose, and personal fulfillment. Breaking free from the fear of loneliness is one of the most liberating steps you can take toward living an authentic and fulfilling life. Loneliness can feel isolating, and for many it brings about deep feelings of fear and discomfort. This fear can stem from a number of sources: societal expectations, personal insecurities, or past experiences, but it often leads to people staying in relationships, situations, or mindsets that don't serve their true selves simply to avoid being alone. However, embracing solitude and breaking free from this fear is essential for growth, self-discovery, and long-term happiness. The first step in breaking free from the fear of loneliness is recognizing that loneliness is a natural part of the human experience. Everyone at some point in their lives experiences feelings of isolation or loneliness. It's a normal emotional state that doesn't define your worth or mean that something is wrong with you. Acknowledging loneliness as a passing, temporary experience helps to detach the stigma and fear that surrounds it. Loneliness doesn't have to be something to be afraid of. It can be a valuable opportunity for self-reflection, personal growth, and inner peace. One of the most powerful ways to break free from the fear of loneliness is to reframe it as solitude. Solitude is the conscious choice to spend time alone, not out of necessity, but as an opportunity for personal connection, creativity, and self-exploration. Solitude allows you to reconnect with your own inner world, to listen to your needs and desires, and to reflect on your life and goals without external distractions. Instead of seeing being alone as a negative experience, see it as a gift, a time to nurture yourself, pursue your passions, and engage in activities that contribute to your personal growth. Breaking free from the fear of loneliness requires cultivating a loving and healthy relationship with yourself. Many of us fear being alone because we haven't yet learned how to be our own best company. We seek validation and companionship from external sources because we feel incomplete when we're on our own. Learning to love yourself, to enjoy your own presence, and to trust in your own company is vital to overcoming the fear of being alone. This process involves embracing self-compassion, engaging in activities that make you feel good about yourself, and recognizing that your worth doesn't rely on others. When you feel complete within yourself, being alone becomes a peaceful, nurturing experience rather than something to fear. It's important to differentiate between being alone and feeling lonely. You can be alone without feeling lonely, and you can be surrounded by people and still feel lonely. Being alone simply means you're not in the company of others, but it doesn't have to equate to emptiness or isolation. Loneliness, on the other hand, is the emotional state of feeling disconnected or unfulfilled, regardless of your external situation. Learning to distinguish these two experiences helps you understand that solitude is not the same as loneliness. It is possible to be alone and still feel content, fulfilled, and complete. The key is to nurture yourself and build emotional resilience so that even in moments of solitude you can still feel whole and at peace. A common reason people fear loneliness is because they feel pressured to always be in a relationship or to constantly be surrounded by people. Society often emphasizes the idea that we need romantic partners, friends, or family to feel validated and fulfilled. However, the reality is that relationships should enhance your life, not define it. By learning to break free from this societal expectation, you can release the need to constantly seek external companionship and instead focus on developing a fulfilling, independent life. This doesn't mean abandoning relationships. It means understanding that your happiness and fulfillment should not be dependent on them. When you release the pressure to be in a relationship at all costs, you create the space for deeper, more authentic connections based on mutual respect and shared values, rather than fear or neediness. One of the most effective ways to combat loneliness is by exploring new interests and passions that bring you joy. When you engage in activities that fulfill you and bring you excitement, whether it's a hobby, sport, artistic pursuit, or personal development, you begin to build a sense of purpose that doesn't rely on others. These activities allow you to connect with yourself on a deeper level, building a fulfilling life that's rich in meaning and personal satisfaction. Moreover, pursuing your passions can also open the door to meeting like-minded people, making meaningful connections along the way. Breaking free from the fear of loneliness doesn't mean rejecting social connections. It means shifting the way you approach relationships. Instead of seeking others solely to fill a void or to stave off loneliness, seek connections from a place of emotional wholeness. When you are content with yourself, you can form deeper, more authentic relationships that are based on shared values, mutual respect, and genuine companionship, rather than a need to avoid loneliness. These types of connections are more fulfilling and have the potential to enrich your life in ways that surface-level interactions cannot. A simple yet powerful way to break free from the fear of loneliness is by practicing gratitude for your own presence. Take time to acknowledge the beauty and value of who you are. Reflect on the strengths, talents, and qualities that make you unique. When you embrace self-appreciation and gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing in your life to the abundance of positive qualities that already exist within you. This shift in perspective makes it easier to enjoy your own company and release any fear of being alone. Finally, breaking free from the fear of loneliness is about embracing the freedom that solitude offers. When you let go of the need for constant companionship, you open up space for personal exploration, growth, and independence. Solitude allows you to make your own decisions, live on your own terms, and develop a sense of self-sufficiency and confidence that is empowering. It's in these moments of solitude that you can truly connect with your innermost desires, dreams, and goals without the influence or expectations of others. Breaking free from the fear of loneliness is about transforming the way you perceive being alone. It's about embracing solitude as an opportunity for self-growth, self-love, and self-discovery. Accepting imperfection and uncertainty. One of the most profound ways to let go of the need to control is by embracing the reality that life is full of imperfection and uncertainty. No matter how much you try to plan, structure, or organize, things will not always go according to plan. There will always be elements outside your control, whether it's other people's behavior, unexpected circumstances, or unforeseen events. Accepting this truth allows you to loosen your grip on the need to control and make peace with the fact that uncertainty is an inherent part of life. Embracing uncertainty doesn't mean resigning yourself to chaos. It means learning to navigate life's unpredictability with grace, adaptability, and trust. When you stop fearing the unknown, you open yourself up to new experiences, opportunities, and growth that you would otherwise miss if you were rigidly clinging to control. The more you practice accepting life's unpredictability, the easier it becomes to let go of the need to control. Focusing on what you can control. While there are many things outside of your control, there are still areas of your life where you can make choices and take action. Instead of trying to control everything, focus your energy on what is within your control: your thoughts, emotions, actions, and reactions. This shift in focus is empowering because it allows you to take responsibility for your own life without getting overwhelmed by the things you cannot change. For example, you cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond to their behavior. You cannot control the outcome of a situation, but you can control how much effort, energy, and attitude you bring to the process. By concentrating on the areas where you do have power, you can take inspired action, rather than trying to force outcomes or micromanage every detail. Surrendering to the flow of life. Letting go of control requires surrendering to the flow of life and trusting that things will unfold as they are meant to, even if they don't happen according to your plans. Surrendering is not about passivity or giving up. It's about releasing the need to manipulate or force outcomes. It's about trusting in the process and allowing life to guide you to where you need to be. When you surrender, you move from a mindset of resistance to one of acceptance. You stop trying to control every aspect of your journey and instead open yourself up to receiving life's lessons, blessings, and opportunities as they come. This doesn't mean that you stop taking action. It means you stop obsessing over controlling the results and start embracing the journey with trust and openness. Practicing mindfulness and presence. Mindfulness is a powerful tool in letting go of the need to control. When we are focused on the present moment, we are less likely to worry about the future or dwell on the past. Mindfulness helps us release the need to control because it encourages us to stay grounded in what's happening right now, rather than getting caught up in what-if scenarios or imagining worst-case outcomes. By practicing mindfulness, you train your mind to let go of excessive planning, worry, and control. Instead, you learn to be present and appreciate the beauty of the moment as it is. This awareness allows you to let go of control in a gentle, non-judgmental way, creating space for peace, acceptance, and contentment. Trusting in yourself and others. At the heart of letting go of control is the need to trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in others. When you feel the need to control situations or people, it often reflects a lack of trust. You might doubt your ability to handle whatever comes your way, or you might feel that others can't be trusted to do things the right way. However, trust is essential for growth and connection. Trusting yourself means believing that you are capable of handling whatever life throws your way, even if it doesn't go according to plan. It also means trusting in your ability to learn from mistakes and adapt to changing circumstances. Trusting others means allowing people to show up in their own way, without feeling the need to micromanage or dictate their actions. This trust creates a sense of freedom and flow in your life, as you no longer feel burdened by the need to control everything around you. Embracing the power of letting go. Letting go of control is a practice that can be incredibly freeing. When you stop trying to control every detail of your life, you make room for spontaneity, creativity, and joy. You allow yourself to experience life's surprises, its highs and lows, and its moments of beauty and grace. In letting go, you realize that you don't have to have everything figured out, and that not everything needs to be perfect. Life has its own way of unfolding, and sometimes the most rewarding experiences come from the unexpected. By letting go of the need to control, you develop emotional resilience and flexibility. When life doesn't go as planned, instead of panicking or resisting, you become better equipped to adapt, pivot, and find new ways forward. This resilience allows you to handle life's challenges with grace and confidence, knowing that you have the strength to move through difficult moments without needing to control or fix everything immediate. Ultimately, letting go of the need to control brings you peace. When you release the constant striving for perfection and control, you open yourself up to accepting life as it is, beautifully imperfect, unpredictable, and ever-changing. With acceptance comes a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, as you stop fighting against the natural flow of life and instead allow yourself to flow with it. You learn that everything doesn't need to be controlled or fixed. You are enough as you are, and life is unfolding exactly as it needs to. In conclusion, letting go of the need to control is not about surrendering your agency or responsibility. It's about accepting the reality that you cannot control everything. And that's okay. It's about releasing fear, embracing uncertainty, and trusting that life will unfold as it should. When you stop clinging to control, you free yourself to live more fully, with more peace, joy, and freedom. You embrace the flow of life, and in doing so, you create space for growth, connection, and deeper fulfillment. Setting healthy boundaries is one of the most powerful and empowering steps you can take to protect your well-being and maintain healthy relationships. Boundaries are the limits you set for yourself and others regarding what is acceptable behavior, how you expect to be treated, and how much time, energy, and resources you are willing to give. Learning to set boundaries is essential to preserving your emotional, physical, and mental health. It is a skill that allows you to prioritize your needs, maintain self-respect, and create the space necessary for personal growth. At its core, setting boundaries is about self-respect. It is a recognition that your needs, desires, and feelings are just as important as those of others. Healthy boundaries help you maintain a sense of identity and control over your life. They prevent you from being overwhelmed by the demands of others and protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Without boundaries, it is easy to become exhausted, resentful, or lose sight of your own needs as you constantly give in to the expectations of others. When you set healthy boundaries, you send a clear message to others that you value yourself and your time. Boundaries create respect in relationships, whether it's with family, friends, coworkers, or romantic partners. They help prevent unhealthy dynamics, such as enabling behaviors, manipulation, or feeling taken advantage of. They ensure that you can show up as your authentic self without compromising your values or well-being. Before you can set boundaries, it's important to recognize and understand your own needs and limits. This requires self-awareness and reflection. What are your emotional, physical, and mental needs? What drains your energy and what recharges it? What situations make you feel comfortable or uncomfortable? Understanding these aspects of yourself is crucial because boundaries are an extension of your personal needs. Once you identify these needs, you can set clear limits with others that honor and protect them. It's also important to acknowledge that everyone's boundaries will be different. What is acceptable to one person might not be acceptable to another. Boundaries are highly personal and should reflect your values, goals, and comfort levels. Take the time to assess what feels right for you, and don't be afraid to revisit and adjust your boundaries as your needs change over time. One of the key components of setting healthy boundaries is learning how to communicate them effectively. It's not enough to simply know your boundaries, you must also express them clearly and confidently. Setting boundaries is an act of self-care, and it's important to do so in a way that is both firm and respectful. When communicating your boundaries, be direct and specific. For example, instead of saying, "I need some space," say, "I need 30 minutes each evening to myself to unwind and recharge." This makes it clear what you need and avoids ambiguity. When setting boundaries, it's important to use I statements that focus on your feelings and needs. For instance, "I feel overwhelmed when you constantly call me at work. I need to focus during work hours, so please call me only during lunch break or after hours," is a respectful and clear way to communicate a boundary. It's also important to remember that setting boundaries is a healthy and necessary practice, not a selfish one. While it might be uncomfortable at first, especially if you've never set boundaries before, communicating your needs clearly benefits everyone in the long run. It encourages respect, honesty, and understanding, and it creates a space for healthy, balanced relationships. One of the main reasons people struggle to set boundaries is the fear of rejection, guilt, or disappointing others. Many people are conditioned to believe that saying no or asserting their needs makes them selfish, unkind, or uncaring. However, this fear is often rooted in limiting beliefs and is not reflective of the truth. Setting boundaries is not about rejecting others, it's about creating balance in relationships where both parties' needs are respected. It's normal to feel guilty at first when setting boundaries, especially if you are used to people-pleasing or have a history of neglecting your own needs. However, over time, you'll come to understand that it's actually more harmful to ignore your boundaries than to assert them. When you fail to set boundaries, you sacrifice your mental, emotional, and physical health, which ultimately affects your relationships and overall well-being. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and those who don't are likely not a positive influence in your life. To overcome the fear of guilt or rejection, practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that your needs are valid, and that setting boundaries is an act of self-love. With time and practice, you will become more confident in asserting your boundaries without feeling guilty or fearful of how others will react. Setting boundaries isn't a one-time event, it's an ongoing process that requires consistency. Once you've communicated your boundaries, it's important to enforce them consistently. This can be difficult, especially if you're dealing with individuals who may test or push against your limits. However, consistency is key to ensuring that your boundaries are respected and that your needs are met. Being assertive means standing firm in your boundaries without being aggressive or passive. It's about being clear and direct while maintaining a sense of respect and compassion for yourself and others. If someone ignores or disrespects your boundary, it's important to address it immediately. For example, if a colleague continues to ask you to take on additional tasks after you've expressed that you are already at capacity, you can gently but firmly remind them of your limit and say, "I can't take on additional tasks right now, but I'd be happy to help once I have more availability." Assertiveness doesn't mean being rude, it simply means standing up for yourself in a respectful and calm manner. One of the primary obstacles to inner peace is the constant pursuit of external validation. Many people seek approval, recognition, or love from others in order to feel worthy or at peace with themselves. However, relying on external validation for peace is an endless cycle that leaves you feeling unsettled, because no amount of praise, material success, or external affirmation can create lasting inner peace. To focus on your inner peace, it's important to release the need for external validation and instead cultivate a sense of self-worth from within. This means learning to trust yourself, embracing your unique qualities, and letting go of the need to please or be approved by others. When you release the attachment to external validation, you no longer need to chase after things that only offer temporary satisfaction. You become your own source of validation, which is the foundation for sustainable inner peace. Mindfulness is one of the most effective practices for cultivating inner peace. It involves being fully present in the moment without judgment, focusing on the here and now rather than dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness helps you quiet the constant chatter of your mind, allowing you to connect with the present moment and experience life more fully. Mindful practices, such as meditation, deep breathing, or simply observing your thoughts, can help you detach from negative thought patterns and emotional reactions that disrupt your inner peace. By focusing on your breath, or bringing your attention to the present moment, you create a space of calm that allows your mind to rest and find clarity. Over time, mindfulness helps you develop the ability to respond to life's challenges with equanimity and peace, instead of reacting impulsively or emotionally. Negative thoughts, such as self-doubt, worry, and fear, are major contributors to inner unrest. These thoughts create a cycle of stress, anxiety, and unhappiness that prevents you from finding peace. To focus on inner peace, it's essential to recognize and challenge these negative thought patterns. This requires awareness and an openness to change. One of the first steps in releasing negative thought patterns is to identify them. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise throughout your day. Are they mostly critical, pessimistic, or fearful? Are they keeping you stuck in the past or anxious about the future? Once you identify these patterns, you can work to replace them with more constructive and peaceful thoughts. This can be done through techniques like reframing negative thoughts, practicing affirmations, or engaging in self-compassionate dialogue. Remember that releasing negative thoughts doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing them. Instead, it's about acknowledging them, understanding their origins, and choosing not to let them dictate your emotional state. The goal is to create a more peaceful, balanced internal environment where positive thoughts can flourish. Self-compassion is a vital aspect of inner peace. It involves treating yourself with the same kindness, care, and understanding that you would offer to a loved one. When you focus on inner peace, it's essential to be gentle with yourself, especially during difficult times. Instead of being self-critical or judgmental, practice self-compassion by acknowledging your imperfections without harshness and offering yourself encouragement instead of condemnation. Self-compassion helps you embrace your humanity, recognize that it's okay to struggle, and allow yourself the grace to heal and grow. When you treat yourself with compassion, you create an environment where peace can thrive. You become less reactive to external circumstances because you are grounded in a sense of self-acceptance and understanding. A significant barrier to inner peace is the desire to control every aspect of your life. Control stems from fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or fear of being hurt. However, the more you try to control the outcomes of situations or the behavior of others, the more stressed and anxious you become. Inner peace comes from letting go of the need to control everything and instead accepting that some things are beyond your control. By letting go of control, you embrace the flow of life as it is. You trust that the universe will provide what you need, even if it doesn't unfold the way you imagined. This doesn't mean you stop taking action or making decisions. It means that you stop obsessing over the results and learn to trust the process. The less you try to force things to happen, the more you allow peace to settle into your heart and mind. In our busy, fast-paced world, finding time for silence and stillness is essential for inner peace. Constant noise, both external and internal, can create tension and stress, making it difficult to connect with your inner self. Silence allows your mind to rest, your emotions to settle, and your spirit to reconnect with the present moment. Make it a priority to spend time each day in quiet reflection, whether through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in stillness. This practice gives your mind the space to reset and recharge, creating a sense of calm and clarity. In the stillness, you can hear your own thoughts, understand your emotions, and connect with a deeper sense of peace. Inner peace comes from accepting things as they are rather than resisting what is. Resistance to reality causes inner conflict and stress. When you fight against the present moment, you create tension and frustration. On the other hand, acceptance allows you to release the struggle and embrace peace. This doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It means accepting that life is not always going to go according to plan and that change is inevitable. When you learn to accept life's challenges, setbacks, and uncertainties with grace, you create space for peace. You stop fighting against what you cannot control. And in doing so, you allow yourself to experience life as it unfolds without resistance. Gratitude is a powerful practice that helps shift your focus from what is lacking to what is already present in your life. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you automatically invite peace into your heart. Gratitude helps you see the beauty in the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. Take time each day to reflect on the things you are grateful for, big or small. This could be the warmth of the sun, a kind word from a friend, or the simple act of breathing. The more you cultivate gratitude, the more you train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of life, which fosters a sense of inner peace. Focusing on inner peace is a commitment to creating a sense of calm and balance within yourself, regardless of what's happening in the external world. It requires mindfulness, self-compassion, and the ability to let go of negative thought patterns, control, and resistance. When you prioritize inner peace, you cultivate a deep well of tranquility that allows you to face life's challenges with clarity, resilience, and grace. This inner peace becomes the foundation for self-love, helping you embrace your true self and live a life that is aligned with your deepest values and desires. By focusing on your inner peace, you create a harmonious space within, from which all other aspects of your life can flourish. The simple yet profound truth is that you deserve happiness, It is not a privilege or something that must be earned. Happiness is a fundamental right that belongs to everyone. Many people struggle with the belief that they are not worthy of joy, especially if they have experienced hardship, self-doubt, or negative relationships in the past. However, it is essential to remember that no matter your circumstances, history, or current situation, your worth is not contingent upon external validation or the approval of others. Happiness is an intrinsic part of who you are, and it is your birthright to experience it. A critical step in embracing happiness is recognizing your inherent worth and value. Too often we place conditions on our happiness, thinking that we must first meet certain standards, be it in our careers, relationships, or personal achievements, before we can allow ourselves to feel joy. However, true happiness comes from within, and it starts with acknowledging that you are valuable simply because you exist. To truly internalize the idea that you deserve happiness, reflect on the qualities that make you unique and the positive contributions you bring to the world. Whether it's the love you share, the kindness you offer, or the work you do, your presence adds something meaningful to the lives of others. This recognition is crucial because it shifts your focus away from external validation and towards self-acceptance. When you honor your value and uniqueness, you are better equipped to embrace happiness, knowing that you don't need to earn it, it's already yours. Many people block their own happiness by holding themselves to unattainably high standards. Perfectionism often stems from a deep-seated belief that if we are not perfect, we are unworthy of happiness. This mindset leads to constant self-criticism, fear of failure, and a sense of never being enough. However, the pursuit of perfection is not only exhausting, it's also unrealistic. Perfection does not exist. What does exist is the beauty of imperfection and the peace of self-compassion. To embrace the idea that you deserve happiness, it's essential to let go of self-judgment. Understand that mistakes, setbacks, and imperfections are part of being human. Rather than berating yourself when things don't go as planned, practice self-compassion. Offer yourself the same kindness and understanding you would give a friend who is struggling. When you stop holding yourself to unrealistic standards, you make space for happiness to flow into your life without the constant pressure of trying to be perfect. Another key component in remembering that you deserve happiness is releasing the past. Many individuals carry the weight of past regrets, trauma, and negative experiences, which can overshadow their ability to experience joy in the present. The past is full of events and memories that can no longer be changed. What matters most is how you choose to move forward. Holding on to old pain or guilt can prevent you from fully embracing the happiness that's available to you in the here and now. Letting go of the past doesn't mean forgetting it or excusing any wrongs that may have been done to you. It simply means acknowledging the lessons learned, releasing any emotional hold it has on you, and choosing to heal. This process is often gradual and requires patience, but once you free yourself from the weight of the past, you open yourself to new experiences and opportunities for happiness. Happiness is most accessible when you are present. Often people spend so much time worrying about the future or ruminating on the past that they miss the beauty of the present moment. The present is where life unfolds, and happiness exists in the small moments, whether it's the joy of a good conversation, the peace found in nature, or the warmth of a hug. By focusing on the present, you allow yourself to experience happiness as it arises, rather than chasing after it in the future or looking for it in the past. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or simply taking moments throughout the day to pause and breathe, can help you stay grounded in the present. When you focus on the here and now, you start to notice the simple pleasures that contribute to your happiness, those things that are often overlooked in the rush of daily life. Remember, happiness isn't something you need to search for, it's right here, right here. Gratitude is a powerful tool in the pursuit of happiness. It shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. When you take time each day to reflect on the things you're grateful for, you begin to notice the abundance in your life rather than focusing on the scarcity. Gratitude creates a positive cycle. The more you express gratitude, the more reasons you find to be thankful, and the more joy you experience. Gratitude doesn't have to be reserved for big milestones or dramatic moments. It can be for the small, everyday blessings that often go unnoticed. For example, gratitude for a delicious meal, a kind word from a friend, or a quiet moment of reflection all contribute to an overall sense of well-being and happiness. The more you practice gratitude, the more you begin to internalize the belief that you deserve happiness because you are surrounded by so much to be thankful for.